Welcome back to the X-Ring. On today's episode, what we're going to do is review a knife by Microtech. It is the LUDT, stands for Large Underwater Demolitions Team. This is a tried and true knife design. It's one of their oldest designs. I'm going to let you guys take a look at it. This one's in the black tactical version. These run anywhere from about $235 to about $250. Depending on if it's all blacked out, depending on if it's partial serrate. So it just depends on how you get it set up. I always recommend going through a Microtech dealer in case you ever do buy one of these. It is an automatic knife, so make sure that you live in a state where this is lawful to have and own. And it's just a press button here. I've never had one of these go off accidentally in my pocket. You can see the button's kind of flush. There is no safety or anything else. You just press this and it fires. It is locked at this point. Press and it will lock back in. So what we're going to do is check and see how sharp it is. We'll do that here in just a second. Stay tuned. For this test, we'll see if this is sharp enough to, to shave a piece of paper pretty easily, just like that. So that's at the beginning of the test. Let's check it one more time. Pressure treated 2x4. It has been stained. It was a drop off of a project that I was using. And what I'll do is I will use a rubber mallet, and we're going to see how long it takes us to get through this 2x4. Not really a speed thing, but then we'll check it again for sharpness. We'll see what it looks like. What I'll do is I will just start hacking away at it. Essentially, it will be like this, batoning. And you can see we're already starting to get the wood chips from it, but I'm not going to sit here and hack at it like this all day. I'll use the mallet and we'll just chop through this. All right, so here we go with the test. It is now 9:40.
Actually doing a pretty good job of hacking away at it. I don't know if you guys want to get some close-ups of this or anything. But I'm starting out with some nice little V-notches like this. Oh yeah, we're almost halfway through right now, so. We'll stop for just a second, flip this over, let you guys take a look at it. So we're already halfway through. Like I said, it is a pressure-treated 2x4. Remember, a knife is not a pry tool. I am doing a little bit of prying on this, but we're not trying to get crazy with the prying. And what I'll try to do is make sure I hack through this without using the mallet to actually break it. Because right now the 2x4 is very, very weak. And I think just cutting the sides here should probably be through this in about maybe another minute or two. Right now it's 9:42, so it's 2 minutes total. Guys, at this point, this thing is so weak, it's about to snap on me. Not the knife, but the 2x4. I don't know if you guys want to zoom in, but I mean, literally, we're technically through this at this point.
So yeah, I mean, guys, there it is, just like that. And it's 9:43. So less than 3 minutes. Let's check out this blade finish. So you guys can see there's no marks, there's no anything on it. Let me grab my piece of paper. At the end of the test, we're still shaving with that same knife. There's another test I want to do, guys, and the action still works perfectly. You guys can see this. I'm going to put a set of gloves on and I'm going to do something to check the lockout. Give me just a second. Not any type of scientific test. It's just a test that I want to do. And what I'm going to do is hit the back of it like this, because that's the block mechanism. I'll even take this hammer and basically I'm hitting on that lock. Now, just doing that a couple times. Let's see if I can press, man, that button, it just presses easily. Nothing crazy. Still locks out. No problem with the function. But on a lot of your cheaper knives, what you're gonna see is you can do this really hard and you can break that lock mechanism. That's not the case with Microtech. Now, I know you guys might say, well, you know, $250 is a lot for a knife. Guys, as long as you don't lose them, these knives will last you a lifetime. They use only the best materials. Big thanks to Jason McCoy with Microtech for providing this. We'll try to do a couple other tests with it, maybe get a little creative, but right now everything's good with, actually, we didn't get full lock out there. Might need a little bit of oil on it. Yeah, everything's still there it goes. So yeah, everything's still good. Just feels a little dry in the action. Usually a drop of oil on the left or the right side will be good. All right, guys, so on this gravel surface here, this is like what they call ABC, and this is a very fine grit, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this knife, which it's working perfectly, and I'm just gonna take it, I'm gonna place it in here. I'm gonna go ahead and just sprinkle this dust all over it, the rocks. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and cover it up, just like this. I don't know if you guys wanna see this up close. We'll jump on it a couple times. We'll take the knife. Still fires. Sounds a little gritty, but we're still getting, sorry, the action. If you guys can see that. It's actually a little quiet with that action right now, but yeah, we're still good. Everything's good on it. So guys, I have no complaints on this. The button is a little sticky for the deployment, but it's still coming up fully just like that. We'll try it again. This time I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open it up, and I'll place it right here. We'll cover it up. We'll get some in the action like this. Now guys, I'm not gonna attempt to close it because of the rocks that are in there. Knocking stuff off. A little gritty, but there we go. So let me throw some oil to it, make sure everything's good. We'll clean it off, blow it off, and then we'll show it to you again. All right, guys, so we did wash it off. Everything seems to be functioning perfectly. The lock button and all that still working. No problem pressing it. It's nice and smooth. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna see if it'll fire underwater in this Home Depot bucket. So here we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place the knife completely under the water. We're gonna hold it sideways and it fires, locks out, no problem. Now we'll do it the other way. We'll do it this way. Not that it matters, completely locks out, no problem. So yeah, no problem with this thing firing under the water. I'm a huge fan of side openers. I know Microtech's known for out the fronts, but you get a lot of the sand or anything like that in the action, sometimes you'll have an issue deploying those, whereas these always work. Carrying these in the sand works really well. If you're doing a lot of crawling in sand like this, it'll get in your pockets. And so I'm not knocking out the fronts, I'm just saying for dependability and usability, these side openers are tough to beat. Test I want to do, and that is try to split this by batoning on the back side of the blade itself. Guys, this is not old wood. This is less than a week old. It's pressure treated. I just bought it because I'm working on a deck project. Like I said, it has been stained, but you guys can see there's no rotting or anything like that in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place it on top of this. Hopefully I can do this in one shot. And I'm hitting dead on the tip of this thing. Just like that, guys. Like I said, these are tough knives. Let's look at the finish on the blade. Still has all the laser markings, everything else. All right, guys, so a lot of people say, hey, you split it with the grain and that's easy like splitting firewood. Let's see if we can go against the grain and just baton straight through this. All right, so here we go.
Oh, that's indeed. Wow, let's cut this. We're gonna hit on the tip. About as far as I've gotten so far. Let's see if we can knock this off. Go from the other direction. Should be about right here. Still gonna go with or against the grain. Maybe another cut right here. Try not to hack out of it. I want to actually split it. straight.
Oh, think I got it. Here we go, coup de grace. There it is. So, it's actually a tough test, but you guys can see that right here. Let's wipe the blade off. Now let's see if the action works. This will be one continuous run here. Let me take my gloves off. Uh-oh. Still have the grit from the sand in there. No problem. You guys can hear this. I'm going to be really quiet so you can hear the sand. Still fires. No problem. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that review of the Microtech LUDT, the Large Underwater Demolitions Team knife. I was just trying to think of some good and inventive ways to be able to use this. These are great knives. Guys, if you want to compare it to something like a SOCOM Elite for size, for those of you that might not be aware of this, the size difference between a SOCOM Elite and the LUDT is as seen. So the SOCOM Elite is wider, it is heavier, and it's larger, but this is a good all-purpose knife. I've swam with these in the ocean. They do deploy underwater. I already knew it, but I just wanted to show it to you guys that these will be available on the MilGov program. So if you're law enforcement, military, or fire, and you can contact Jay McCoy at microtechknives.com, and it's just the letter J, or you can contact C. Campbell, C-A-M-P-B-E-L-L, at microtechknives.com. And so they're going to offer this. You've already seen the review of this knife right here, the one that I torture tested and drove over it with the mower in my truck and everything else. This is still working. Everything's good. So this would be like for law enforcement. And then you also have the what they call the RSK. It's a rescue services knife. A lot of firefighters will carry one like this. You'll just have to mail your credentials into those guys, and those guys will get you set up. So hopefully you like that review. We're going to do more Microtechs, some really cool things coming up. Stay tuned. Have a good one. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Talk to you soon. All right, guys. Figured a good test would be to shoot that LUDT with a 40 cal. We're going to be using jacketed hollow points. You guys are familiar with this pistol. If you guys watch my channel, this is an Infinity, Strayer Voigt Infinity. And we'll shoot this from about 8 yards, and we'll see if we can't split a bullet with that LUDT blade with a 40 cal, 180 grain. Stand by. First shot.
A hit.
It glanced off to the right, so I caught the edge of the blade. I see 2 bullet holes.
You hit the serration.
Doesn't matter, I still split it. All right, guys, so we did hit it. We split the bullet. You guys can see that there. You guys can see it here. However, it hit on the serration part and it chipped the blade. I don't know if you guys can see that.
It's actually kind of cool looking.
But actually, you know, it's withstood the test. It didn't break it. Hey, that's what we have this test for, is to try it. You know what? Still works. Still fires. I still have a functioning knife. Doesn't really prove anything, but once I saw the left and right, I knew that we split that bullet perfectly. Took 3 shots to do it, but hey, it works. See if we can still, oh yeah, we can still shave paper. Awesome, dude.
Oh, sweet.